Anyway, before we jump onto the JOLT book, is there any new data from the Effortless Experience? Because Effortless Experience is some years old now.
Yeah.
Looking basically at the effects of wasted effort on loyalty, have you developed any new data since then?
A few things I would throw out there. So one, my co-author on the new book, The JOLT Effect, was a guy named Ted McKenna, and he and I spent about 4 years at a conversation intelligence company called Tether, and they actually work with a lot of brands, both B2B and B2C. But we actually use a lot of their machine learning platform to continue to explore the contours of effort reduction. What creates effort for customers? What are the things that great companies do to minimize effort or reduce effort? And we were able to use unstructured data, right? Recorded phone conversations and chat interactions, email exchanges, SMS exchanges, things like that. The original research, of course, was built off of survey data. And so this has been fascinating to now be able to look at millions and millions of actual customer service interactions and look at how does effort actually play out, not as a customer recalls it and how they fill out a survey after the fact, after their service experience, but actually how it happens in the moment. So I think it's really enriched our understanding of effort. I would share with listeners is that I think if we look back on the effortless experience, I think there's probably two places where if we were to rewrite the book today, the two areas I'd focus on to update it. I think the first one is around this whole question of digital, right? So we talk about creating a sticky self-service experience is something that low effort companies do. Obviously, I think our take on technology and digital was probably obsolete as soon as the book came out because technology, as you know, changes so dramatically. I'll give you an example, like something like an omni-channel experience back in 2013 was just like this figment of the imagination. It was something vendors were talking about, but you couldn't find any companies actually doing it. Fast forward to today, and you've got platforms like Service Cloud and Customer and Gladly, and the list goes on, who are actually delivering this kind of seamless omni-channel experience to brands all over the world. So you can find hundreds, if not thousands, of companies delivering that kind of experience. So that these things have changed pretty dramatically. Now, the other area I think we'd have to do an update is on the frontline experience. And because I think what's happened is there's two things there. One is as we get better at self-service and digital, what happens is the easy stuff goes away. And then what's left over for the live service representative is by definition the more complicated things. These are the things that the customer couldn't solve on their own, that you couldn't have an AI like a chatbot or virtual assistant handle. You actually need to talk to a human being. And so that's really changed the employee experience, the frontline agent or representative experience. When you layer on top of that, the second thing is work from home, and what's happened in a world where service representatives are now working out of their basement offices, home offices, you name it, with the dog barking and the kids and the FedEx guy at the front door, and they've got all these distractions and they don't have their peers surrounding them anymore that they could lean on to help them solve some of those more complicated issues. So you're finding issue complexity going up and the support or surrounding the representative kind of going down, or if you will, being lessened in this work from home environment. So I think that creates a really challenging job for the frontline representative. I point your listeners toward two articles we wrote that came after the book. One is called Kick-Ass Customer Service. The other is called Reinventing Customer Service. Both of those were in Harvard Business Review over the past couple of years. And I think they're a good window into how do we think differently about hiring, skill development, and building the right culture for our service organization so that they can really thrive in this world of much more demanding customers, much more complicated issues, and do it in a world where they're often on an island by themselves without their colleagues and managers, at the ready to help them.